Top reasons technology pros want to move to Ohio. A thriving tech industry with high-paying jobs for programmers, developers, database architects, and more. Ohio is the Silicon Heartland with the top tech brands and thousands of startups, too. Shorter commute times mean more time for you. And since your dollar goes further in Ohio, it's like a cheat code for success. The tech career you want and a life you'll love. Have it all in the heart of it all. Learn more at callohiohome.com.
This holiday season, treat yourself to a healthy smile with the Oral-B iO2 electric toothbrush available at Walgreens. Because a gentle, effective clean is the gift that keeps on giving brush after brush. The Oral-B iO2 makes switching to electric easy, thanks to a long-lasting battery, automatic gum pressure sensor, and quiet, powerful performance that removes 100% more plaque than a manual toothbrush. Save up to $22 when you purchase Oral-B and other P&G products at Walgreens. See walgreens.com for details.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Halloween Podcast. I am your host, Lyle Perez. It's September 29th, 2024, and you're listening to episode 18 of our Haunted America series. Today, we're heading down to Louisiana, a state filled with rich history, mysterious swamps, and plenty of ghostly tales. We got some haunted plantations to eerie cemeteries. Louisiana has got it all. So get into the car, guys, because we are on our way to explore the Bayou State. First up, we're headed to the Myrtles Plantation in St. Francisville, often called one of the most haunted homes in America. Built in 1796 by General David Bradford, this plantation has seen more than its fair share of death, tragedy, and mystery. It's been the site of murders, sudden deaths, and untimely illnesses, all of which seem to have left an undeniable mark on the property. The most famous ghost here is Chloe, an enslaved woman who allegedly poisoned the plantation owner's wife and 2 daughters with a cake laced with coriander leaves. But Chloe's story is just the beginning. Her ghost is often seen wandering the grounds in a green turban, her face veiled in sorrow. Guests have reported hearing her soft, mournful singing echoing through the corridors at night, and the sound of rustling clothes when no one else is around. Up to 12 spirits are said to haunt the Myrtles, and many guests have encountered them. A ghostly child believed to be one of the poisoned daughters is often seen peeking out from behind the staircase or playing with an invisible friend in the halls. She's also known to tug on visitors' clothes and gently brush their hands. There's also the story of William Winter, a former owner who was shot on the front porch and staggered inside, dying on the 17th step of the staircase. His ghost is said to replay those final moments, and many visitors have heard the heavy, labored footsteps stop suddenly on the 17th step, leaving the house in an eerie silence. The grand mirror in the hallway is another hotspot for paranormal activity. Faces, sometimes one, sometimes many, appear in the glass, often accompanied by faint handprints that can't be wiped away. Guests and staff alike have experienced phantom footsteps, sudden cold drafts, and shadowy figures darting through the rooms. Some have even felt an overwhelming sense of dread or sorrow, as if they've suddenly connected to the tragic past of this place. The Myrtles Plantation operates as a bed and breakfast today, offering ghost tours for those brave enough to face its restless spirits. Next, we're heading to the heart of the French Quarter, to the infamous LaLaurie Mansion, known as the most haunted house in New Orleans. The mansion's dark history began with Madame Delphine LaLaurie, a wealthy socialite who hosted extravagant parties by day and committed horrific acts of cruelty by night. In 1834, a fire broke out, and what rescuers found shocked the city: a secret torture chamber in the attic, where enslaved people were chained, mutilated, and starved. The sheer brutality of the scene led to the mob storming the house, but Madame LaLaurie fled, never to face justice. The house has been plagued by ghostly phenomenon ever since. Neighbors often hear the agonizing cries of the tortured late at night and the clinking of chains dragging across the floor. Shadowy figures are seen moving through the windows, and some have spotted the apparitions of slaves in chains, their faces contorted in pain, peering out from the attic windows. Even those walking by the mansion on the street have felt an unexplainable sense of dread, as if the air itself is thick with the suffering of the past. Inside, visitors claim to have been pushed by unseen hands, and many report feeling sudden, bone-chilling cold spots, even in the sweltering New Orleans heat. The spirit of Madame LaLaurie is also said to haunt the house, her cold, calculating presence felt in the rooms where she once tortured her victims. Some have seen her ghostly figure standing in the attic, her face twisted in a sinister grin. Though privately owned, the mansion's chilling story is a staple of New Orleans ghost tours, drawing those curious and brave. Next, we visit St. Louis Cemetery No. 1, the oldest and most famous cemetery in New Orleans. Established in 1789, this cemetery is a labyrinth of above-ground tombs, built to withstand the city's high water table. But it's not just the tombs that make this place famous. It's the spirits that still wander among them. The most renowned resident is Marie Laveau, the Voodoo Queen of New Orleans. Even in death, her influence is strong, with many visitors leaving offerings at her tomb, coins, beads, rum, in hopes of gaining her favor. Marie Laveau is often seen wandering the cemetery, her ghostly figure dressed in a white turban and flowing robes. She's been known to appear out of the corner of your eye, only to disappear when you look directly at her. Some have felt a sudden chill when near her tomb, or heard faint chanting that seems to rise from the very ground. There's also a legend that if you knock on her tomb 3 times and ask for a favor, she might just grant it, if she deems you worthy. But Marie Laveau isn't the only ghost haunting St. Louis Cemetery No. 1. The ghost of Henry Ving, a sailor who lost his tomb while at sea, is also said to wander the grounds. He's often seen as a tall, thin figure, his face pale and emotionless, asking passbyers, "Where is my grave?" Those who encounter him sometimes feel a deep sense of sadness or hear the rustling of a long coat as he disappears into the mist. On foggy mornings, the entire cemetery seems alive with ghostly figures. Spectral funeral processions silently move through the narrow paths, and mournful cries echo through the mausoleums. The cemetery is open for guided tours, but tread carefully. Some spirits here have been known to follow visitors back home. Our next destination is the Old Absinthe House on Bourbon Street, a bar that's been serving up spirits, both liquor and ghostly, since 1806. This historic bar was once a favorite haunt of pirate Jean Lafitte, who allegedly held secret meetings here with Andrew Jackson during the War of 1812. Today, Lafitte's ghost is often seen sitting at the bar, his shadowy figure blending in with the dimly lit surroundings. Patrons have reported feeling a heavy, oppressive energy, especially in the back rooms where Lafitte and Jackson are said to have plotted. Glasses have been known to fly off shelves, and chairs move on their own, as if unseen hands are rearranging the room. Some guests have felt a cold breeze pass by, or heard their names whispered in a deep, gravelly voice, only to turn around and find no one there. The air grows heavy with the scent of tobacco smoke, even when no one is smoking, and the piano sometimes plays by itself, striking eerie, disoriented keys that seem to echo long after the sounds fade. On quiet nights, you might hear the faint clicking of coins or the rustling of paper, as if Lafette is still counting his ill-gotten gains. The old Absinthe House remains a popular stop for both locals and tourists, where you can sip a drink and perhaps catch a glimpse of New Orleans' darker past. Next, we journey into the eerie depths of the Manchac Swamp, also known as the Haunted Swamp. The swamp's reputation is closely tied to the legend of Julia Brown, a voodoo priestess who lived on the swamp's edge in the early 1900s. Julia was known for her strange behavior, often sitting on her porch singing a chilling prophecy. "One day I'm gonna die, and I'm gonna take you all with me." On the day of her funeral in 1915, a massive hurricane struck, destroying the town of Frenier and killing many, seemingly fulfilling her dark prophecy. Julia Brown's spirit is said to still haunt the swamp, her ghostly figure often seen drifting among the cypress trees, her voice carrying on the wind in a haunting lullaby. Fishermen and boaters have reported hearing her soft, eerie singing just beyond the tree line, only to find no one there. Others have seen ghostly figures floating above the water and felt a sudden, icy grip pulling them towards the murky depths. Some say they've seen Julia's face appear in the water, staring up with cold, dead eyes, before vanishing without a trace. But Julia isn't the only spirit in the swamp. The ghostly remnants of the old town of Frenier still linger. Visitors have heard the sound of phantom church bells ringing or seen spectral lights flickering in the distance. Boat tours often report strange fog that rolls in out of nowhere, carrying with it the faint sounds of ghostly funeral processions. The swamp is open for tours, but be warned, many who venture into the depths leave feeling like they're being watched.
So much of what we want to do can seem impossible, but the highest achievers among us are the people still reaching for something, the ones who aren't satisfied to stay where they are and want to keep climbing higher. It's those people who approach the impossible and embrace it. There's a vehicle for people like that. It's called the Defender. The Defender is an icon, reimagined through thoroughly modern design. It's got a tough, rigid body design and durable, lightweight monocoque architecture for extra strength. With precise detailing and compelling proportions, the exterior of the Defender is designed with integrity. This is a vehicle capable of great things, engineered to meet challenges head-on, with an exterior that's been tested to the extreme. Experience the Defender's legendary capability, off-road and on. And there's a family of vehicles for Defender. Meet the Defender 90, Defender 110, and the 8-seat Defender 130. So are you ready to embrace the impossible? Explore the Defender at LandRoverUSA.com.
Did you know Bridgestone developed a tire using 75% recycled and renewable materials? Making a difference today for future generations. That's what really matters. Bridgestone, solutions for your journey. Visit whatreallymatters.com to learn more.
At Amica Insurance, we know it's more than a life policy. It's about the promise and the responsibility that comes with being a new parent. Being there day and night. And building a plan for tomorrow, today. For the ones you'll always look out for, trust Amica Life Insurance. Amica. Empathy is our best policy.
This holiday season, treat yourself to a healthy smile with the Oral-B iO2 electric toothbrush available at Walgreens. Because a gentle, effective clean is the gift that keeps on giving brush after brush. The Oral-B iO2 makes switching to electric easy, thanks to a long-lasting battery, automatic gum pressure sensor, and quiet, powerful performance that removes 100% more plaque than a manual toothbrush. Save up to $22 when you purchase Oral-B and other P&G products at Walgreens. See walgreens.com for details.
Next, we head to the Gaudet-Lepedra Mansion, also known as the Sultan's Palace. In the 1830s, a mysterious man claiming to be a Turkish sultan moved in with his harem, guards, and treasures. The house became known for its strange music, exotic incense, and lavish parties that lasted until dawn. But one night, everything went silent, and the next morning, a gruesome scene was discovered. The so-called Sultan had been buried alive in the courtyard, and everyone else inside had been slaughtered in what remains one of the most shocking unsolved murders in New Orleans history. The mansion has been haunted ever since. People have reported hearing the ghostly sounds of Eastern music playing late at night, and the scent of incense often filling the air with no apparent reason. Visitors have seen a spectral figure in a robe standing by a window, his eyes wide with fear, and others have heard whispers in a foreign language or felt a sudden chill as they passed by the house. Some have even seen a procession of shadowy figures in flowing robes moving through the halls, as if the final moment of the frightful night are playing over and over again. Though the mansion is now privately owned, its dark history and ghostly residents are frequently discussed on New Orleans ghost tours. And this is going to be a first for Haunted America because we are going to travel back to the Myrtles Plantation. There are even more ghostly tales to tell. Beyond Chloe, the enslaved woman who poisoned her master's family, and the tragic children she accidentally killed, there are many other spirits said to call this plantation home. The grounds are believed to be built on a Native American burial ground, which has only added to its haunted reputation. The ghost of a Confederate soldier is often seen patrolling the grounds, his heavy boots echoing on the veranda, his face stern and serious. Inside the house, guests have reported seeing ghostly figures in the mirrors, their faces twisted in pain or sorrow, and hearing soft whispers or hushed conversations that stop as soon as they try to listen more closely. Some have felt a hand on their shoulder or heard a faint voice say, "Leave now." That chilling voice will send shivers down anyone's spine. The plantation offers ghost tours and overnight stays, and many who dare to stay the night leave convinced they're not alone. Now let's visit Lafette's Blacksmith Shop Bar, one of the oldest buildings in New Orleans, dating back to the early 1700s. It's said that the infamous pirate Jean Lafette used the bar as a front for his smuggling operations. Today, it's a lively watering hole, but Lafette's spirit never left. His ghost is often seen lurking in the dark corners, his eyes glowing red, watching over his treasure, or perhaps his territory. Customers have experienced glasses shattering on their own, and staff have felt the cold touch of a hand on their shoulders when no one else is around. The piano has been known to play itself, filling the air with slow, mournful tunes that fade into silence. On some nights, patrons have heard a deep, gravelly voice mutter in French, or seen coins mysteriously appear on the tables. Some have even claimed to see a dark, shadowy figure moving from room to room, disappearing into the darkness just as quickly as it appeared. The bar, of course, remains open, inviting those brave enough to enjoy a drink with a ghostly pirate. Our next stop is the Andrew Jackson Hotel, built on the site of a boarding school that burned down in 1794, taking the lives of 5 young boys. Their spirits are said to roam the halls to this day, playing pranks on guests and staff. Guests have heard the sound of children running down the hallways, giggling and playing with toys that aren't there. Some have seen the ghostly figure of a boy staring out from a second-story window, his face pale and sad. In certain rooms, guests have experienced lights flickering, objects moving on their own, and sheets being tugged or pulled off the beds in the middle of the night. Others have felt the light touch of a child's hand and heard the faint whispers of a boy's voice asking for his mother. The Andrew Jackson Hotel remains open, welcoming guests who don't mind sharing their room with a few playful spirits. Finally, we come to the Bourbon Orleans Hotel, a luxurious hotel with a haunted history. The building started as a ballroom in the early 1800s, then became a convent and an orphanage run by the Sisters of the Holy Family. Many children and nuns died during a yellow fever epidemic, and it's believed their spirits still linger. Guests and staff have seen a ghostly dancer twirling across the ballroom floor, her dress flowing as if caught in an invisible breeze. Others have spotted a nun in a habit walking down the hallways or kneeling in prayer in the chapel, her figure translucent and faint. The sound of children laughing and playing can often be heard echoing through the empty corridors, and tiny footsteps run up and down the stairs. Some guests have felt a sudden chill or seen doors open and close on their own. The Bourbon Orleans Hotel continues to operate, offering comfort, elegance, and perhaps a ghostly encounter or two for those that stay. And there you have it, guys. That wraps up our haunted tour of Louisiana. That pirate, man, he haunted. I found a different place that he haunts as well, but I was like, no, two's enough. And of course, I went to Myrtles twice because there was just so much stuff. This episode is probably the longest that's been out thus far. Louisiana, though, man, they got some ghost stories. This is probably my favorite episode yet. But thank you guys so much for tuning in as we took a look at Louisiana. I really appreciate all of the downloads I've been getting, all of the emails, all of the messages. Thank you guys so much for listening. I'm glad you're enjoying it. And if you have any questions, comments, or want to suggest anything for a future show, send me an email to halloweenpodcast@gmail.com. If you'd like to support the show, you can do it a couple of different ways. The easiest way is to just leave me a 5-star review wherever you get your podcasts at, either Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Just leave a review. Leave a couple of words on there so people know that the Halloween Podcast is a show that they must listen to. And you could also go to our website, thehalloweenpodcast.com. Go to our merch store, order some merch. Got a lot of cool stuff on there for you guys. Everything's pretty inexpensive, so feel free to order a thing or two. And don't forget to go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/The Halloween Podcast. Join me tomorrow as we continue our Haunted America series in the state of Maine. We'll explore some haunted lighthouses, spooky inns, and so much more. Until tomorrow, have a good night.
Shopify is the global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business. Shopify is there to help you grow. Shopify helps you sell everywhere, from their all-in-one e-commerce platform to their in-person POS system. Shopify's got you covered. Shopify helps you turn browsers into buyers with the internet's best converting checkout, 36% better on average compared to other leading commerce platforms, and sell more with less effort thanks to Shopify Magic, your AI-powered all-star. What I love about Shopify is how no matter how big you want to grow, Shopify gives you everything you need to take control and take your business to the next level. Shopify powers 10% of all e-commerce in the U.S., and Shopify is the global force behind Allbirds, Rothy's, and Brooklinen, and millions of other entrepreneurs of every size across 175 countries. Plus, Shopify's award-winning help is there to support your success every step of the way. Because businesses that grow with Shopify. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/Westwood1, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/Westwood1 now to grow your business, no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/Westwood1.
The highest achievers among us are the people still striving, still reaching for something. The people who aren't satisfied to stay where they are and want to keep climbing higher. And it's those people who approach the impossible and embrace it. There's a vehicle for people like that. It's called the Defender. The Defender is an icon, reimagined for a new generation of explorers through thoroughly modern design. Its interior is modern and functional, with rich material finishes and quality craftsmanship. When you're in a Defender, you can tell the interior is built for purpose. Luxury appointments throughout and practical storage options ensure you adventure in comfort. This is a vehicle capable of great things and engineered to meet challenges head-on. Wherever you're headed, experience the Defender's legendary capability, both off-road and on. And there's a family of vehicles for Defender. Meet the Defender 90, Defender 110, and the 8-seat Defender 130. Are you ready to embrace the impossible? Explore the Defender at LandRoverUSA.com.
While no one knows what tomorrow may bring, Bridgestone is working toward a more positive outlook. With innovations like developing a tire using 75% recycled and renewable materials. It's just one of the many ways Bridgestone is making a difference today, for generations to come. Because that's what really matters. Bridgestone, solutions for your journey. Visit whatreallymatters.com to learn more.
At Amica Insurance, we know it's more than a life policy. It's about the promise and the responsibility that comes with being a new parent. Being there day and night. And building a plan for tomorrow, today. For the ones you'll always look out for, trust Amica Life Insurance. Amica. Empathy is our best policy.
This holiday season, treat yourself to a healthy smile with the Oral-B iO2 electric toothbrush available at Walgreens. Because a gentle, effective clean is the gift that keeps on giving brush after brush. The Oral-B iO2 makes switching to electric easy, thanks to a long-lasting battery, automatic gum pressure sensor, and quiet, powerful performance that removes 100% more plaque than a manual toothbrush. Save up to $22 when you purchase Oral-B and other P&G products at Walgreens. See walgreens.com for details.